Months before the new Obamacare exchanges were to go into effect, nearly 3 times as many voters said the law made them worried rather than reassured. That's according to a Fox News poll in late June. In late July, a majority of Americans wanted it repealed. A new generation of GOP lawmakers who thought they saw a way to do that were selling their strategy last August.
I am very pleased to introduce Senator Ted Cruz.
42-year-old Ted Cruz of Texas is the son of a Cuban refugee father and a working-class Irish-American mother. Princeton, Harvard Law, Supreme Court clerkship, the youngest state solicitor general in the U.S. He ran for Senate in 2012, upset the GOP favorite, and headed to Washington with what he believed was one overriding mandate: repeal every word of Obamacare.
I promised Texans I'm going to do everything I can to stop this failed law.
Thank you.
Here, take it. You have someone who's dogged and determined. I've been in politics. I know horseflesh.
Democrat Pat Caddell began working in politics when Jimmy Carter was still a candidate for president.
To have had someone who has been in the Senate 5 months be the focus of the president, the vice president, every Democratic mailing is a threat because they smell something that scares them.
The most significant divide right now, it's not between Republicans and Democrats. It is between the entrenched politicians of both parties and the American people. If the path to getting this done depends upon convincing people in smoke-filled rooms in Washington, it can't be done. The only way this happens is if we break out of traditional Washington rules.
Getting this done means killing Obamacare before it fully takes effect.
Between now and September 30th, we need to stand up and defund Obamacare.
September 30th is when funding for the government expires. Cruz says that gives congressional Republicans extraordinary leverage.
The House of Representatives should pass a continuing resolution that funds every penny of the federal government, everything in its entirety, except Obamacare.
What are the senators telling you then?
There was significant resistance internally. A lot of people were urging that we had just come through the sequester battle and we need to focus on that. There is a new paradigm.
You have healthcare, so can we. You have healthcare, so can we. You have healthcare, so can we.
He has got incredible talents. They're not afraid for a fight, but to have the judgment that goes with it, to be able to think through the policies, to grow, I don't know.
Here's what you hear on Capitol Hill. Senator Cruz is incredibly bright. Princeton, Harvard, Supreme Court clerkship, all that. But he's not common sense smart about how to operate on Capitol Hill.
If the measure is, do you play the Washington games of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, then they're right.
When you first heard of Senator Ted Cruz's defund Obamacare effort, what did you think?
I thought there was no chance whatsoever that President Obama or Democrats in the Senate would vote to defund his signature piece of legislation.
Senator Ron Johnson, a Wisconsin Republican, was elected in the Tea Party wave of 2010. Cruz and others were pushing this defund effort. They were raising money around the country to pressure Republicans to support it. You didn't like that?
Well, I certainly would have preferred the political pressure to be applied to Democrats that actually support Obamacare as opposed to Republicans that share the goal.
Do you think Democrats have fought harder to enact legislation that they've been trying to push through than Republicans?
No, they have followed through on their principle, and I think Republicans ought to have the same commitment to principle.
Were you surprised the defund effort went as far as it did?
No, because I think any kind of fight, whether it had any chance for success or not, resonated with the people who are so concerned about what Obamacare means to our healthcare system, to our federal budget, to our personal freedoms.
And to the economy. Ever hear of a 29er? You didn't before Obamacare. Fox News reporting continues when we return.